In a small, picturesque town nestled in the heart of America, the Thompson family had recently moved into an old, charming house. The home was perfect: big windows, a wraparound porch, and a yard filled with the scent of blooming flowers. It was the kind of place they had always dreamed of, a sanctuary where they could start their new life. One crisp autumn afternoon, while unpacking in the attic, Laura Thompson stumbled upon a dusty, old painting. The image was striking: a young boy with large, sorrowful eyes, tears glistening on his cheeks. There was something hauntingly beautiful about the painting, and despite the chill it sent down her spine, Laura decided to hang it in the living room. As soon as the painting was up, strange things began to happen. At first, it was small, almost imperceptible, doors creaking open on their own, shadows moving in the corners of their vision, and the unmistakable feeling of being watched. Laura's husband, Mark, dismissed it as the house settling, but their daughter, Emily, was not so easily convinced. Emily, a sensitive child with a vivid imagination, became obsessed with the painting. She would sit for hours staring at the boy's sad eyes, whispering to him as if he were a living presence. Laura tried to pull her away, but Emily insisted that the boy was lonely and needed a friend. One night, after a particularly unsettling experience where they found all the clocks in the house stopped at exactly midnight, Laura decided it was time to take the painting down. But when she tried to remove it, the nails holding it to the wall refused to budge. Mark, a strong man with a logical mind, couldn't understand why the painting wouldn't come off, no matter how hard he tried. The following day, Laura learned about the legend of the crying boy paintings from a neighbor. The neighbor, an elderly woman who had lived in the town her entire life, warned Laura about the curse, that homes with the painting often suffered unexplained fires, and the painting itself always survived, untouched by the flames. Terrified, Laura demanded that they get rid of the painting. Mark, ever the skeptic, agreed to humor her. He took the painting to the backyard, intending to burn it in the fire pit. But as the flames licked the edges of the canvas, the fire suddenly roared to life, as if feeding off the painting. The flames grew higher, hotter, and more ferocious than Mark had ever seen, forcing him to back away. The fire quickly spread, jumping from the fire pit to the dry grass of the yard, then to the house. Laura and Emily, inside at the time, were trapped as the inferno consumed the home. Mark ran desperately around the house, trying to find a way in, but the flames were too strong. He could hear Laura screaming for Emily, who had disappeared into the living room where the painting had hung. In the chaos, the house was reduced to ashes in minutes. The fire department arrived too late, able only to put out the last remnants of the blaze. Mark, distraught and devastated, combed through the ruins, hoping against hope that something had survived. As he sifted through the ashes, his heart stopped when he saw it, the painting of the crying boy, completely intact, lying in the exact spot where the living room had once been. Mark picked it up, his hands shaking, staring into those sorrowful eyes. And then he heard it, faint but unmistakable, the sound of a child crying. It wasn't Emily's voice, it was the boy in the painting. The curse was real, and it had taken everything from him. In his grief and rage, Mark took the painting to the river at the edge of town, intending to drown it in the murky waters. But as he threw it in, the wind picked up, and the painting floated away, carried by the current, as if it had a life of its own. Years passed, and the story of the Thompson family became another dark tale whispered among the townspeople, a cautionary legend to scare children into behaving. But the painting was never found, and some say that on stormy nights, when the wind howls through the trees, you can still hear the faint cries of a boy who lost his way long ago, a boy whose tears would never dry, and whose curse would never end.